What's up, y'all? Got a family to feed, so let's get into this tea. So we about to get into Chrisean, basically letting y'all know she is a free woman. I know this was announced 2 days ago, but I too have a life, so I was handling other channels, and yesterday I went out with my family. However, Chrisean is free, okay? First of all, y'all know how Tea Hot Chocolate is one of my sources to go, get information from for Showski. It says CMD Martin CR Judge Stout presiding, Aaron O'Quinn for state defendant present with attorney Mac Martin, defendant sworn and advised of rights, initial appearance held on First Amendment, app to excel. Defendant waives preliminary hearing, state waives as well. Defendant steps, to app 2 years. 2-year suspended fines and costs as previously assessed with 991 fees added payable to DA's office. So basically, Chrisean is on a 2-year suspended probation. If she obviously breaks this, she would potentially go to jail. I don't know how long. I don't know all that, but we are about to get into Cassandra. And I know that lawyer talk is kind of slow, but for those that is gonna definitely be in my comments, like how that happened, that's probably fake, blah, blah, blah. I like to address this so y'all understand that everything on the internet is not fake. Some things are, but that's why you have to have discernment with what you're looking at. So a lot of people thought that she was gonna do 8 years. Literally, Cassandra told y'all she wasn't doing 8 years, but one of my other sources, my favorite paralegal, let's get into it.
So I just got off my live and no telling when this updated because we was just having us a good time over there in members. But
Shout out to her
we
live in the
came to
members.
see that the docket has been updated. Now there's 2 dockets that I normally check. I usually check this one because it does provide more information. I'm able to access
We're gonna speed her up a little
the
bit.
court dockets if they are available, but unfortunately it has not been updated, and I know that it's going to take some time for it to be updated. However, the other court docket, it does show an entry on 11/8, and it reads, let's see, so D. Martin, and we have the Judge Stout presiding. Aaron O'Quinn for state, defendant present with her attorney, Mac Martin, shout out to the OKC. Defendant sworn and advised of rights, an initial appearance held on the first amended application to accelerate. We just went over that in members. If you are not aware of what that accelerate application was, I am going to bring that up for you guys. So pretty much what that is saying is that everything that was mentioned in the first amended application for acceleration was taken into consideration when they actually did the sentence for this. So I am going to share my screen so that way you guys can see the amended acceleration application. So initially, all right, when she was sentenced, the deferment and on probation,
And this is that 8-year thing that a lot of y'all was confused about.
she was not to violate any laws of this state or other terms filed of record or anything of that matter. So she cannot violate any state, local, state, federal government, nor tribunal or the tribal. Okay. There was no violation in addition to the special conditions that was included in the deferment. Now, on June 27th, they submitted the violation report. She had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 violations at the time. So the first one is I will report in person or directed by the probation officer. As we have stated, she never even reported to orientation. Okay.
Hello. Also, when her ass got to California, ain't no probation officer because her ass never went to the orientation in the first place. Okay.
So that was the first violation. They were looking for her. They conducted their searches and they did not see where she was. So at that time, they did consider her absconder. So she was pretty much a fugitive. Okay. The second rule that she violated was rule number 2. She will not leave the state of Oklahoma without written consent of the judge, nor will I change my address without notifying my probation officer. I will allow my officer to visit me at my home or elsewhere.
Now, what I'm confused about is I thought they gave her a interstate probation to where she could, that probably was null and void anyway because her ass didn't go to orientation. So it's given Chrisean was supposed to stay in Oklahoma anyway from the beginning. But obviously it's something that I'm missing here, but that's fine because it doesn't matter. She has 2 years suspended probation. And I for sure think that she has to stay in Oklahoma. For sure.
As you guys know,
I could
she
be wrong. We'll know by the end of this video.
did request for an interstate transfer of her
Here it
probation
is.
to California, and that was granted. However,
Was
she did
granted.
not check into orientation, and when they went to go try to look
Got it.
for her, she was not at the address that they had on file. So
Got it. Got it. Got it.
therefore, they did not know where her new address was. All right, because you have to notify them, your probation officer, if you change addresses. So that was the second violation. The third violation, rule number 3, I will maintain lawful gainful employment and provide written employment verification to my officer as requested. I will support myself and all my defendants without public assistance so long as I am physically able to do so. I will notify my officer when I change employment and allow my officer to visit me at my employment or elsewhere. We know that she's self employed, but however, she did not include or provide any employment verification to her probation officer. That was a violation. Rule number 8 is what she also violated.
That's crazy.
I understand that I am to remain under supervision by the probation and parole office until I serve my maximum term, unless I am placed on unsupervised status by the court or Department of Corrections. She has not been released from supervision. However, she never reported in the first place, so she violated that one. She also violated the special conditions, which was to perform 120 hours of community service. There was no indication that she started. So therefore, because remember,
She definitely never started because she ain't even get to the goddamn orientation. And for her to not go to the orientation and to ask to be transferred to LA and knowing you didn't go to the orientation, how the hell was they gonna give you that for LA? And knowing you had zero intentions on doing community service. Girl, this some 20-year-old irresponsible shit right
that
here.
120 service hours was in lieu of her doing 30 days in jail. Okay.
Yeah, what
So
she
since
said.
she did not do her community service, they said, okay, you're going to do your 30 days in jail. All right. So this revocation hearing was for these other rules that she violated. Okay.
Mhm.
Then they turned around and they submitted the violation report because, like I said, they transferred her probation, but she didn't even go. She didn't even show up. So they have to do that. They also submitted a supplemental report because of violation of rule number 9, which was I will refrain from violation of any city, state, or federal laws, including tribal jurisdiction. I will also advise my officer within 48 hours if I am questioned or arrested by any branch of government or any of its representatives. So, mind y'all, even though the Wovicki case was quashed, canceled, depleted, at the time, she did not notify her probation officers that she had been charged for this.
Okay, so that lets us know that the Wovicki case is done, depleted, canceled, and thrown out. Anyway, um, a lot of y'all kept saying Wovicki never had a case. Clearly, she never had a case. Next.
Or at least question if that was a thing. Also, in addition to that, with the James Wright case, all right, she did not, because the police department, they reached out to her, but not near time did she inform Oklahoma probation officer. Well, not her Oklahoma, her California, because remember she transferred her probation from Oklahoma to California, so she did not even inform them of the incident. So therefore, that is a violation. All right. So now let's go back to her Oklahoma docket. All right, so they base all of this off of that First Amendment application, and we see in the violation reports. All right, so it says she waives the preliminary hearing, and the state waives that as well. And it says defendant steps to application. She has a 2-year suspended sentence, fines and costs as previously assessed with the $991 fees, which is added
$7,000.
and payable to the DA's office. Now, what is a 2-year sentence? What does that mean?
Right.
And I'll change my screen right here. So in Oklahoma, a suspended sentence is a prison sentence that is delayed if the defendant complies with the certain conditions. The defendant must not commit any additional crimes. The defendant must complete the terms of their probation, such as paying fines and restitution and performing community service.
Still.
The defendant must pay any supervision fees.
Okay.
A suspended sentence is a punishment and a deterrent, and the defendant will still have a criminal record. However, If the defendant complies with the terms of their probation, they will not go to prison. If the defendant violates the terms of their probation, they may be incarcerated for the full term of their sentence.
Which would be 2027.
And it says a suspended sentence can be expunged after a certain time or a certain amount of time, depending on the types of offenses. So if it's a nonviolent felony, then it can be expunged after 10 years. Misdemeanors can be expunged after 5 years. This is a nonviolent felony. Okay, so she will be able to expunge off of her record.
Okay.
So I know I'm late, but we was in members, and so my members pretty.
I'm late too, friend. Listen, y'all, I wanted to give y'all a breakdown. Hell, I wanted Cassandra to break it down to you because I ain't the best. I'm not a paralegal nor am I a lawyer, but I will say that a lot of y'all have these type questions, and some of y'all have questioned hot tea, hot chocolate, and your favorite Cassandra, hell, and me. And to be honest, I'm not perfect, but Lord knows my discernment is all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty good on the discernment. And I mean, you can't beat paperwork. And that's what hot tea, hot chocolate, and Cassandra bring, paperwork. So I will forever have them as my sources because they always bring that there paperwork. Now, I appreciate Cassandra for breaking that down. I see a couple questions I had in between. She answered them, no problem. The interstate, obviously, Chrisean messed that up when she didn't even go to the orientation to get that probation transfer or just to be assigned a probation officer slash, find out what her community service would have been or whatever. And, it is what it is. As far as I'm concerned, now it's water under the bridge. A lot of people want her to get brick to the wall, you know what I'm saying? Y'all wanted to get stoned, you know what I'm saying? Like they used to do back in the days, and it's not happening. And I told y'all that a long time ago. She's 23, okay? So they'll put her to the fire, but ultimately she has the money to pay her fees, and for the next 2 years, I don't know if she's gonna have to stay in Oklahoma. We will find out if we see her in LA. Now, my only fear is when Blueface get out, well, she better do her best to stay the hell away from him. And that's all I got. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. I am done with this video. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hell yeah.